Hello traders, very good morning and welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 224, and before I start today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay. With that, let me just quickly share my screen and let's look at the potential auction development paths today, and let's study what happened in the previous auction. Okay. So first of all, I'm having some issue with my daily charts, but that's fine. What I wanted to share first of all is, if you draw a trend line, uh, so market is currently one time framing up. Okay. There was this gap which has been filled and now it is just one time framing up higher. Okay. So if we break this entire auction, so let's say if I break from, so this is from 1st of December, uh, you know let me just add a vertical line. So from the December onward series, if you see, it is just one time framing higher and higher and higher. On the contrary, if you look at the volumes, so let me extend this vertical line and then you will be able to understand or identify or spot what I'm trying to share. So with the increase in price, if you see, currently the volumes are decreasing. Okay, so overall, not a good sign. This basically gives you a notification or should tell you that the buying which is happening is weaker. Okay, it's all weaker buying happening because the volumes are not supporting the higher price action. Okay, so that's one data point which I would like to share. So currently from daily chart, everyone is especially the retail traders, they are in the mood of just taking the auction higher, and they are like, oh, vaccine is out and everything will now be getting normal. So the truth to be told, the volumes are not supporting the increase in price action. Okay. So what I'm expecting is expect some sort of balancing now. Secondly, there is even not a good excess. So I'm expecting some sort of balancing, again the auction to go higher, and then find some clues from the volume in order to take the short trade from the positional perspective. Okay. So this is the overall hourly chart. So this was the gap, and let me just add this data points. Okay. So this is the overall profile which I'll be looking at, and currently what I'm seeing here is there are multiple HVNs. Okay. This should act as level of support. Secondly, the auction is just getting rejected around the value area high. So I'm expecting the auction to tag, see if I'm getting an excess, and then I'll be looking to take a short position. But overall, I'm having a neutral stance. I'm not neither looking to look for a buy or look for a sell. Okay, I'm not looking for anything right now. I'm just waiting for the auction to give me some sort of clarity. Yeah. And From the VSA chart, it's just developing sideways. Nothing much has changed. The delta unwinding and the HVN is getting tagged and sellers stepping in. So nothing much has changed. So last session which I did was on, I think it was on 4th of December. And today is 21st of December. So let me just go to that chart. So where is 4th of December? Yeah, so this is 4th of December, and after that, just one time framing has happened. Okay, so nothing much has changed. Auction is just one time framing higher, and I'm waiting for a good excess high to get formed. So here we have a good excess low. The last Friday's auction. So I'm waiting for that. We also have got double distribution, plus we have got the poor highs. So odds are higher that we'll be tagging the high. Okay. So now let me just jump to the volume profile chart. Sorry, the market profile chart, and just a second. Okay. So now let me just share the references which I'll be looking for the intraday perspective. Okay. So first of all, I'm just looking at the structure. So we have this double distribution. Then the structure on the Thursday had a lot of anomalies. So there was one single print here. There is one single print here. And if you see the power of market profile, this single print is where the low of Friday came in. Buyers took the entire auction higher. So Friday, I was actually looking at the auction, and one of the good trade location to take a long trade is when you see the delta is turning positive. Okay, so after this strong push, so around this candle is where I was looking forward to take a long trade with the target of hitting the HVN. Okay, so this trade, I did took that trade, and this trade was, I think, for some 28 points in the intraday trade perspective. Yeah. So this was the trade which I took last Friday, and then I was just observing. So I was able to find one trade, and yeah, that's it. That's what I was happy with. So now coming to what to expect today. Okay. So overall, if you see, last Friday the auction clearly opened with a sharp rejection. So if you see the first 30-minute and the second 30-minute, so A and B period. So let me clear that. So if you see A period and if you see B period, there was a sharp selling, sharp rejection seen. So a lot of selling activity was happening, and based on the delta you can spot. After this, all the buyers stepped in, and then they took the entire auction to the higher side. Okay. So what was happening is, it was nothing but those who sold in the A and the B period, there were stop losses above the 17th of December high. Okay, so the auction just cleared. It was not able to find any liquidity around the lower side, but it found liquidity around the high of 17th of December, because that's where the stop loss orders were kept. And that's what happened. The auction, so whoever was trying to sell, they were keeping the stop loss around the A period high, and the second was the previous day high. Okay, so that's where this sharp the auction just hit their stop losses, and then the auction just continued in its own direction. Yeah. So overall, what I'm expecting is, so we have got two balances. So we have two balances. There is no single prints here. The high is poor, the low is poor. Okay, so we can consider this as a 2-day balance. So I'm expecting the auction to open within this 2-day balance, and we just have one anomaly, that is here, wherein there is a half back level. So what I'm expecting is the auction will open, let's say around 12,760, sorry, 13,760. It will immediately try to tag the high, and it will go higher. So this is the first auction development path. Second auction development path is, it tags the poor, it tags the halfback, and then it continues its direction to the lower side. Okay, this is the second auction development path which I'm seeing. Okay. So let's see which way the auction develops. The auction market will open in next 10 seconds. So let's see how the auction develops. Okay, so the auction is opened around the value, around the POC of yesterday, and it went higher. Currently the high is weaker because it's exactly at the halfback, and sellers came in. Now a lot of selling activity is happening at the moment. So first of all, let me just mark this and this HVN. Yeah, that's fine. Let me just go to the order flow chart. So if you see, there are a lot of anomalies around the high from the order flow. Right now, sellers are stepping in, and if I split this, so first of all, let me remove the annotations. So if I split this is where buyers came in from price action perspective. So expect the buyers to step in again and take the auction higher. Okay, so that is the expected outcome. If they do not come in, that means those who has bought previous day or last Friday, they would be booking their losses, and we might be seeing a colossal damage, and trying the auction will be trying to go to the lower side. Okay, so right now heavy selling activity is seen. The high is weaker. There are unfinished auctions around the highs. The low is, I would say, not weaker, but the low is less weaker. High odds are higher that we will be tagging the high and take the auction high. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for it. Secondly, there's one announcement that today being Monday, I got meetings from 9:30, so I'll be ending the session by 9:25. So in next 9 minutes, I'll be ending the session. Okay. So one of the intraday quick trade which I'm looking forward is you can take a long trade, keeping your stop loss below today's low, or yesterday's low, or this single print or around this, tagging the half back. Yeah. So let's see whether that happens or not. Okay. Right now it looks like it will tag the low, and I'm expecting some sort of buyers to step in around the value area low of yesterday. So let it tag. There are momentum sellers stepping in, and if you see the volumes, they are just 3,900, 4,000. So let the selling activity happen, and let's just sit and wait patiently for the auction to develop and show us which way the auction is going to develop. Okay, so massive selling is happening. If you look at the commitment of traders, 1,100 sellers and just 70 buyers. Okay, so so negative sentiment is higher. So don't get trapped in this. Wait for the auction to come in. Wait for the right moment. So right now I'm not looking at any trade. I just share one trade is you can take a long trade, keeping the stop loss around this single print or the low of yesterday. So massive selling is happening. So just a second, guys. So still sellers are stepping in. I think the trade which I shared, we will hit our stop loss. So now there is a shift in delta. So that is one sign. 6,320 contracts traded. Let me just jump to the VSA chart. Here delta is still negative. Yeah, that's fine. Now let the weak players step in. Let me just go to the volume profile chart, and this is the value area low. We have just tagged the VPOC. Yeah. So now there is a shift in delta. Buyers are stepping in. Okay, this does not mean that you can take a trade. I'm just sharing. I'm just waiting for some rejection around the VWAP. Let me just go to the minute chart. There's no VWAP touch of delta. Is just sellers are stepping in. So I'm just waiting for some sideways movement in the delta. Right now I'm not seeing any. Yeah. So we are seeing rejection at the second standard deviation, entered the first standard deviation. Yeah. So I'm expecting the option to at least tag the VWAP. Once that VWAP tag is done, then we might see continuation to the upside. Yeah. So wait for this VWAP tag. I'm waiting for, yeah, so this high, waiting for this particular candle high to get cleared. Some sideways development is happening. So the VWAP touch will be seen now. Okay, VWAP touch is done. Now some sort of fighting will be going on between buyers and sellers. So this was the activity which I was looking for. Now buyers are stepping in. So these buyers are nothing but those who sold in this candle. Yeah. So their stop losses are getting hit. There are still unfinished auctions around the high. Plus the high is weaker. So two data points. So odds are higher that we will be tagging the high of today. Okay. So that's the trade which I have. So seeing some rejection from sellers. Let them step in. That's fine. Now the delta is developing sideways. Okay, so if you see, this is the rejection candle which is seen from the order flow chart. The delta is showing a sort of a doji candle. So 6,300 to 4,500 contracts. Let me just increase the brightness of my laptop. Okay, so the auction is closed below VWAP. Now again, sellers would be stepping in, looking at this. So right now, delta is developing sideways. It's just hovering around VWAP. So a good trade location right now is tag for the high, that is the target, and the low of today is your stop loss. Okay, so it is this is 1, and this is 1:2 is the risk reward ratio. Okay, so that's all what I wanted to share today, and let's catch up again tomorrow. Okay, guys. So ending the session, and just observe the auction, how it developed, and based on that, you can take the trades. Okay. So quickly ending the today's video. Let's catch.